Hello there. Today I'm just going to be teaching you how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So if you've got like one scrambled sitting in your home that you don't know what to do with, just follow along with this tutorial and you'll solve it. Before we begin, I'd just like to go over all the different notations. So, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, front counterclockwise, middle counterclockwise, sort of go like this, and then back counterclockwise. Step 1, solving the white cross. What you do here is find any piece with two colors, white and any color. So you find a piece that's edge piece, and it can have white and then any color. In this case, I'm just going to do blue. What you do, if it's on the top layer, so that means when I say top layer, I mean the white side, which you can tell it's the white side because the middle is white. So this is the white side, which we're going to say is the top layer. So if it's on the top layer, which is on the layer with the white side, then you rotate the cube until it's on the bottom layer, which is the yellow side, which you can tell is yellow, the yellow side because the centerpiece is yellow. Now, what you do depends on what the cube is like. If it's facing forward, then what you do is you rotate it until it's one to the left of whatever, so then depending on whatever the second color is. In this case it's blue, so I rotate it to one to the left of the blue side, which you can tell is blue because the middle piece is blue. Then what I do is I rotate the middle down, and then I rotate this white and blue piece over, and ta-da, it is now finished. As you can see here, this is not the entire thing, but this is what you're going to be doing mostly. So, it should be connected on the white side like this. The middle is connected to this piece and also these pieces, but we'll get to that later. And this piece, and this piece need to be the same color or you've done something wrong. Alright, so the other thing is if the white is facing downwards, you rotate it until it's below the place you want to put it, which should look like this, so these two colors should be the same, and then you just rotate it, and that's fixed too. So as you can see, we've now got the makings of a cross like this, and the orange is touching orange and the blue is touching blue. The rest of these don't matter for now. We'll get to those later. Okay, so if it's on the side or on the top, again, you want to rotate it till it's down. Since this is now facing down, since the white face of this piece is now facing down, we rotate it to where we want it to go, which is on the green side, which we can tell is green because the middle piece is green. Then we rotate it up. So it should look like this. These two pieces need to be the same. If this piece is different, like here, it's fine. This piece can be any color. Alright, let's do that one more time so we find the last piece. And we've come across a dilemma. We need to put this on the bottom layer to solve it, but we can't because putting it on the bottom layer messes up this cross. So what we do is we simply move this down, like so, and then turn this, like that. We turn this white piece from here to here, so now when we move this edge piece back up, since this was out of the way, it doesn't come back up with it. Now it is on the bottom layer, and since it is facing forward and not down, we rotate it to the left of the place where we want it to go. Bring this down, turn it over, and bring it back up. So now we have the cross solved. You don't need any of these to be solved because that's the second step. Alright, so if you're here now with the cross and these two pieces all solved, good job. Next up is solving the corners. So these four. There's a bunch of different scenarios here, but they're not super hard to remember. So, like with these pieces, you need to have them on the bottom layer to solve them, or to put them where they're supposed to be. So if they're on the top layer, and either the white piece isn't facing the right way, or it isn't the right colors, then you need to put it back onto the bottom layer, and put it back onto somewhere on the top layer where it fits. So since you can tell this doesn't fit here, or it's not supposed to be here, because this white side should be facing up, but it's not. However, this white edge piece, this white corner piece is still on the top layer, so we need to bring it down. The way to do that is move it downwards by moving the side it's on, and then moving it out of the way and bringing this piece back up. So now it's on the bottom layer. You look here and here, and this is red and blue. That means we've got to put it in the red and blue, in between the red and blue side. And since the white piece is facing right, we bring it to right below the corner where we want to put it, which is here, since it's red and blue, and this is red and blue. And then we go like this. We move this, the side it's on, down. And now it's moved over here. So then what we do is we move it back over here, where it's now lined up with this piece. So when we rotate it up, it's now in the corner it's supposed to be in. You can tell it is because of these colors match. If these colors were flipped, or they don't match, then you know you've done something wrong. So you need these colors to match, and so yeah. Okay, so this is our second scenario. This is facing to the left, so instead of bringing it right below where we want it to go, we bring it again to the left of where we want it to go. Then we bring this side down and this over. So now, as you can see, this is lined up, and ta-da, it's now fixed. Alright, so the last scenario is as you can see, this is facing downwards. So the way we fix that is by going like this. So we turn the side it's on down, and then we move it out of the way. So now it's over here, and we bring this piece back up. So the cross is still intact, but now this is facing to the right, which, again, you do as such. Bring this down, bring this piece, you bring this side here down, then you bring this piece over, and now since these are lined up, you can bring this edge back up. All right, let's look at another. This one is also to the right, so we do the exact same thing. Bring this down, move this over, and bring this side up again. This side is on the top, this corner piece is on the top, so we do the same. So we bring this down, and then move it out of the way, and bring it back up. But now it's facing downwards. So what we do here is we push this down, move this piece over here out of the way, and bring this back up. Now this is facing to the right, so we go like this. And we're done. That is the second step completed. If you've done it right, the white side should be solved in this very first layer, like this. So these four should look good. So these four pieces should all be the same color. So this should all be blue. This should all be red. This should all be green, and this should all be orange. The rest of the pieces still don't matter. So now we're gonna try and solve the second layer. So these should be red, these should be blue, these should be orange, and these should be green. So the way we're gonna do this is look for a piece that has no yellow. So in this case, it's this piece. I'll do this piece because it has orange and green but no yellow. So what we do is we rotate it until the green matches up. So it should look like this. So this matches up here. I'm going to look here. So since this is orange, you want to rotate it to this side because this side is orange, which means you want to put this from here to here. The way we do that is and it has been moved from here to here. Now, there's one other thing. There's one other algorithm. So, if we match it up here, so that was top to right. But if we match it up here, this is blue, and we want to put it here, top to left, then it's this. And as you can see, this has now been solved. You just need to continue doing that. So we line this up. This is orange, so it goes here. And finally, I want to redo this. So we line this up here. We see that this is green, so we want to put it from here to here, which is and we have now solved the second layer. Next up, we're gonna try and solve the yellow layer. There are 8 scenarios. The first scenario is arm. So that's when it's this. This one doesn't matter and these don't matter. It's just these 3. If it makes this formation, it's called arm, and you do this. Scenario number 2 is called a bar. That's when it makes a bar like this, 1, 2, 3. The rest of them don't matter, so it's just these 3 pieces like that. So if this is the case, you go like this. Scenario number 3 is when there's the middle piece. There's only the middle piece. It is not connected to any of these. If any of these can be filled in, any of the corners can be filled in, but none of the 4 edge pieces can. In this case, you can do either of the algorithms I just told you, and then we'll bring up the other scenario. So if I do this, it'll bring up bar, and then I just go like this. Scenario number 4 is when there's a cross like this. In this case, you turn it until there's a yellow piece like this on the left side facing to the left, and then you do what is called a right Sune. Scenario number 5 is when it appears to be a sign like this. Then you just orient it like this, so this part of the sign is facing towards you, and you do the right Sune. Scenario number 6 is when there appear to be 2 boxes like this. In this case, you orient it so that there's a box in the top right and bottom left, and this yellow piece is facing towards you and not away from you. And then you do a right Sune. Our 7th and final scenario is the fish. It's because the yellow pieces form what appears to be a fish. In this case, you orient it so it appears the fish is swimming towards the bottom left, and then you do a right Sune. This should solve the yellow side, but if it does not and just brings you back to the fish, just orient it in the same way and do a right Sune one more time. Alright, so now we're going to try and solve the final layer, which has 2 parts, and the first part has 2 scenarios. The higher priority scenario, so the scenario you're going to look for, is if there are 2 corner pieces which are the same color and 1 piece in the middle like this, which is a different color. In this case, you orient it so that the 2 corner pieces are the same color as the bottom 6, then rotate it so those are in the back, and go like this. If you look around the cube and you can't find that, then what you're going to want to do is orient it in any direction and just do that same thing. that should make the higher priority scenario appear, and then you can do that. After you've done the first part, there are 3 scenarios. The first one is where this piece and this piece need to be swapped, and this piece and this piece also need to be swapped. In this case, you orient it any way and go like this. And that should solve your cube. The second scenario is where this and this need to be swapped, and this need to be swapped. So they need to be swapped like this. In this case, orient it so that the cube that's facing towards you needs to be swapped with the cube that is facing to your right. Then what you do is this. And your cube should be solved. Our final scenario is if one side is solved, but the other 3 have the wrong piece like this. So these pieces are wrong. In this case, orient it so the side that is solved is facing backwards and do this. That should solve your cube, but if it brings you back to the same scenario, just orient it the same way and do it again. And your cube should be solved.
Thank you for watching How to Solve a Rubik's Cube. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.